Hi everybody, I'm Kathy Fritz. I'm the CEO of CREATOMbuilder. I want to talk to you about Agni. Agni is a fourth grade student living in the south of India in the rural areas of Tamil Nadu. He is from the Dalit community, which are considered the community at the very bottom part of the Indian social ladder. In his lifetime, he will deal with poverty. He will deal with lack of water. He will deal with lack of opportunity because of where he was born. My goal is to work with students like Agni, and I work with the program. When I went to India on a Fulbright back in 2011, and what we did is we were looking at how do you develop a program that can help to integrate creativity and critical thinking into education, looking at things like math, teaching English, teaching technology. As we were working to develop the program, we worked with a group of students from Srishti School of Art, Design, and Technology to help develop a paper prototype to teach local teachers who are government trained how to go about teaching project-based learning, which is integrating learning of design thinking and art into teaching subjects like math, science, and technology. We found the same issues that happen in India happen here in the United States. People are taught to take a test. People are taught a lot of skills. People are taught a lot of content knowledge. The problem is there's a disconnect. And the disconnect is between that knowledge and how do you apply that knowledge to real-world situations. Project-based learning, or problem-based learning as it's called opportunity-based learning. In the chemistry fields, it's called POGL, which is process-oriented learning. So there are many, many groups of people who are working very hard to be able to connect project-based learning to things like STEM education, and it's being written about even by people like George Lucas, who's a supporter of Edutopia. And he also sees project-based learning as a way of being able to create teams. You know, you don't want to hire somebody who can't work in a team. That's another big component. So it also teaches social and emotional learning. Here's the solution to that problem. Teach kids how to do project design and project-based learning. You teach them how to identify those opportunities. This is what entrepreneurs do every single day, is identify opportunities when they see the problem. There's supposed to be a bunch of problems out there. Like, okay, we can interface here or here or here to solve that problem. Teach kids how to map out strategies for those problems. How do you evaluate those outcomes? And then how do you document that? These are skills that every single person going into business has to have. And we've lost this ability to teach this to kids. But project-based learning, which is coming back very big, especially in cities like Atlanta, are working towards that. And we have a group, and we think this is important too. We assemble a team, and it's coming out lots of different people, but a lot of them are based around people who are doing both arts. Clinton Eminster, who is the head of Art Rights Again, is part of our team. We have kids who graduated from STAD, who are also part of our team, who really understand the value of design thinking. As well as by developer Richard, who is here. He is like me pointing him out. And so what we did was we developed a process through a web application that helps you do two things. One is to be able to go help teachers facilitate project-based learning. It's very difficult to be able to bring that training into schools. And you can't just sort of drop it and walk out. You have to actually be able to go to platform that learning, because it takes a good 2 years to really be able to craft and do and facilitate project-based learning. The second thing we do is we help students to understand how to do that process, how do you design a project, how do you conduct one, and how do you document it. And so we do this for a couple different ways. We're on our version 2 beta. So what we have here is the first thing is we help students identify those opportunities. Go take the problem, pull it apart. Do what we what we call design thinking processes, mind mapping, affinitizing, SWOT analysis. These are things we also do in business to be able to discover new products and new designs. Then we go and provide a bunch of templates based on different kinds of projects. Things like right here, reframing or imagining alternatives. You know, how else did you get to the moon without imagining an alternative? We help you set down goals. We help you organize activities. Yes, that is a Gantt chart. You're going to teach kids how to do Gantt charts. As well as people that have rubrics, evaluations, and people have what we call a design brief, what they call in education, a lesson plan at the end of the day. So you're able to show the documentation. And this project here was a Go Healthy card that we worked on with one of our partners, Community Guilds, which is a local maker space that we're helping them to actually build their curriculum. All of our partners agree that this is really important. There's a lot of money coming into this part and working on project-based learning. Georgia State, I'm currently going to be working with them on an NSF grant for 3 years. We'll be working on teaching kids project design and project-based learning, and teaching at least 20 teachers how to use our mobile platform. And so these are some of the things that we've been able to do so far. We've been able to work with the KIPP schools, with community guilds. Blind Foundation helped to fund that project. We're currently working with West International Academy, also in Atlanta, even though we are a Savannah-based company. And we're working with PricewaterhouseCoopers to help take their financial literacy program and turn it into a project-based learning pilot. We're also, like I said, the NSF grant. And then our next big project, we're working with the ADMCI, Jim Jacoby, some of you may have heard of him, who is our marketplace, working with people down in NOLA. His group and myself are partnered with the GCE lab schools to help with designing our next student interface. And so others are doing this. There's competition, but people are creating a universe that helps to support project-based learning. And they fall into kind of 3 categories. They fall into learning management systems, which help you basically manage people. They fall into activities and presentations, which basically help you create stuff, not necessarily guide you through it. And then you have the content providers, which are primarily nonprofit organizations. IDEO has a great toolkit, but it's 94 pages long, and it's very hard to digest and break it down. So people think, though, that there's no money in education. Why would you want to invest in education? This is not true. Title II funding is some of the biggest funding that comes into schools that's used for professional development of teachers. Part of our platform is to be able to go and hit a bunch of different targets, one of which is dealing with the individual user, which would be an individual teacher, a nonprofit organization, as you see, we work with a lot of nonprofits to be able to go and help build their curriculums, as well as homeschooling students, there are 2 million plus people, as well as dealing with being able to create specific products for districts. Right now, we're working with public charter schools through foundation grants, and they are more than happy to accept a big chunk of money and a bunch of help to be able to teach these things. So, moving forward, what we need is scalability, and we need to be able to build our infrastructure, and we need to be able to support the people that we're already currently working with in order to move forward. We're currently asking for $500,000 over the course of the next 24 months to be able to go and build plans, build our capacity, build our ability to create more of a Google document type functions, as well as other mobile apps that will help to integrate into this universe. I could bore you with numbers. Yeah, it's going to cost some money, and yeah, it takes time for adoption. But what's nice about it, because we've done like an individual piece as well as doing both individual schools and district-wide, we're able to grow this and scale this in a way that is able for teachers and school districts to adopt it with very little pain, using things like the Title II money, which are used for things like teacher training, where they can come in for a small group of money, check it out, see if they like it or not. So that's my presentation. Are there any questions? Too much? Yes, please.
What's your pricing model?
So our pricing model right now is we're freemium as far as you can go in and play with it. You can create things. We also are going to have a series of tutorial videos that are part of our YouTube channel. So access to the information, we believe that there should be a low threshold of access. If you want to print out the stuff, the materials, we're looking at a $14.99 a month user fee or a $99 a year annual fee. We are doing small contracts, or we can go off into customized contracts to do teacher training in the product and in project-based learning and design thinking. Those will be tailored depending on the number of teachers and what their budgets are. And then we can also do system-wide, custom-wide level products as well for districts once they feel like they're ready to adopt. So it's very much a scalable model. So anybody can ask. Another question?